Well, ultimately, significant activities, that's enemy attacks, basically. But what's also interesting is that at the tail end of that, the sheikhs inside Sadr City came out and said, hey, look, we're good. Like, we're here to make friends now. We're done with this. And what was really awesome was Sadr City had been a complete nightmare for 5 straight years. I mean, Sadr City was completely uncontrollable. And then in a 6-week period, give or take, that those operations took place, it was like done. It was like the sheikhs came out and said, yep, we'll keep this under control. We want to make peace. And that's what happened. That was an unbelievable set of circumstances.
Dude, the one thing on that deployment I remember, and it showed I'd earned Seth's trust because of the distance between the Baghdad International Airport and Sadr City. The conventional unit that was supporting us when we go into Sadr was outside of Sadr City. So he's like, hey, Mike, and I think I spent all 3 weeks there. He's like, hey, stay there, plan the missions. If you need to do a recce of the site, go out with the conventionals. And so for 3 weeks, like, I wasn't with the boys. They would move to me, and then we would execute the mission. But, learning what we had about unity of effort and putting your ego aside and building personal capital through relationships, we built a great relationship with the 10th Mountain. And they gave us anything we needed. And there was a lot of lessons learned from Ramadi that we took, and that we actually stepped up in terms of the mission planning and preparation with some of the assets that the 10th Mountain had. But I was going out with the conventionals by myself. If I needed to get to another outstation or a cop, they would have a convoy of Bradleys waiting for me, just for me. And I loved it. But Seth realized I was probably getting a little off the reservation. And at one point, we conducted a mission. We got back to that larger base, and he said, hey, go get your stuff. You're coming back. And I'm like, I actually think I barked a little at him, and he's like, go get your stuff. You're coming back. And I was pissed because I was Colonel Kurtz in it, in a sense. Yeah. Loving it. And he made the right call. So.
Yeah, I know you guys did an outstanding job there, and it wasn't just you guys. The 10th Mountain did a freaking unbelievable job. Some of the images that were coming back at that time of those guys putting that T-barrier up right in the middle, or right at what side of Sadr City was it? The eastern side of Sadr City. You could see those guys out there putting those barriers up. The conventional army guys, it was freaking awesome, man. What
heroes.
Awesome guys.